I'm guessing by now you're all familiar with lightweight sensation Gervonta Davis, aka Tank. But are you familiar with what his opponent said before and after they took a whooping from this guy? Nah, I didn't think so. We'll show you exactly what went on, but just do us a quick favor and hit the subscribe button before we do. Thanks. With 25 wins and 24 coming in the form of knockout, it'd make a long video to include all of his fights, so we're just gonna break down from that night he became world champion almost 4 years ago. There wasn't much interview footage for the pre-bout, but Jose Pedraza went in confident as ever that he'd beat Tank on that night, but when it came down to the fight, the prospect in Tank Davis seemed to have the power and speed to put on a pretty one-sided beatdown.
Nice combination put together by Davis.
To later stop Jose in the 7th with a heavy right hand.
Oh, vicious right hand! Pedraza goes down!
Interestingly, this is what he had to say about his power afterwards.
Did you learn and are you better from the Gervonta Davis fight?
Yeah.
Why? How so?
The focus. The focus is the most important.
Who do you feel overall is the better fighter between Lomachenko and Davis?
Lomachenko.
Moving on to his first title defense, Davis flew overseas to England to fight Britain's Liam Walsh, an opponent who, like Davis, was undefeated as well, and at the time, 21-0. It seemed most of the pre-fight attention went to Gervonta's mentor Floyd Mayweather after he kicked off with the Walsh brother at the conference.
Listen, I'm 40 years old, and I kick all three of y'all ass in the same night.
I was impressed with his win against Pedraza. I've seen other fights on YouTube, which I've been semi-impressed with.
But it was clear Liam was a game challenger despite all the hot-headedness going on between the teams. However, after a cautious 3 rounds, Davis managed to land a fight-changing right hand that would ultimately bring Walsh to his demise.
So, in any sort of way, all the power shots, all the big attachment shots are coming from Davis. At this point, that's a big left hand, and he's going looking for him now, and he's trying to finish it here, and he puts him down with the left hand.
I believe I've got to be given more of a chance. I don't know, maybe people might be laughing here and saying I'm a fool, but...
And Gervonta slipped over last time, he beat Gervonta, he slipped, what do we do? Referee thought a knockdown, next thing you know, counted to 10 and robbed us.
Not so sure about that one, guys. Not long after Tank featured on the Mayweather-McGregor undercard against another opponent who was said to be better on paper and one that could cause him a rough night.
That to please support and that he's going to do his best to give Costa Rica their first absolute world champion.
After 8 long rounds, not showing much in way of performance, Davis pulled it out of the bag in the late half of the fight, doing what he does best, and ending the fight in a bang.
Oh, Fonseca. Oh, they're ruling it a knockdown.
Ending in controversy, Fonseca's will to get up ended that night. But in recent interviews, he still talks about a rematch, funny enough.
Now my vision and my plan is to beat Ryan Garcia, and then if possible, a rematch with Gervonta Davis.
Stepping up to the plate, Jesus Cuellar was next in line for Davis, and one that had the potential to be another problem for Tank.
A good boxer, but just like any other fighter, you know, he has his strengths and he has his weaknesses. We're going to come out and execute that game plan and be aggressive as he's always been, but at the same time show a little more.
Though confident he had the game plan to beat Davis, Cuellar lacked all the things Davis had, and after receiving several body shots over the first few rounds, Davis put an end to his suffering.
Yeah, right hooks to the body, and Cuellar down to a knee again, second time in the fight. What a combination, left uppercut, and down goes Cuellar for the 3rd time. Referee Benji Estevez calls off the fight.
A bad night for Jesus, and this is what Davis had to say.
I seen his other opponents didn't touch his body, and he was open for body shots, so I took the open shots.
Next up was originally Abner Mares, but after a last-minute pullout due to injury, another veteran opponent stepped in to replace him, in Mexican fighter Hugo Ruiz.
What I can say is that at 130 I feel more power than ever, and I will demonstrate it on Saturday night.
Vowing to knock out Davis in their bout didn't seem to go down well, after it turned out that Ruiz was just another lamb to the slaughter after Tank bullied him into yet another stoppage.
Tan splitting the guard of Ruiz. There's a combination by Davis, culminating with the right hook, and down goes Ruiz. 21-0 with 20 knockouts.
After the devastating loss, this is what Ruiz had to say.
Tank Davis was too strong. I felt his punch. It was too heavy. The weight was too much.
With all the weight cut issues, Tank finally took the bold move of moving up to lightweight to face Yuriorkis Gamboa, another veteran of boxing, and also for the vacant WB lightweight title.
Whether they think I'm being cocky or not, my focus and my only focus is to go in there at 150%.
Without a doubt, Gamboa's experience caused him to have little to no concern about any of the pre-fight talk to faze him one bit. And whether he had a chin or not, he was coming to win. But to no surprise, with Tank putting on a sloppy performance in the first half, he managed to get through. And following the usual pattern of intent, Davis caught up with him in the ladder, putting his lights out in the very last round with one hell of an uppercut.
The new WBA lightweight champion of the world.
But it was what Gamboa said after the fight that shocked fans the most.
He dropped him because he couldn't stand right. He had his foot broken.
He fought 10 rounds with a snapped Achilles.
If that is true, then maybe Tank should have got rid of him a little earlier, maybe. Anyway, taking a dive back down the super feather, Gervonta's next bout was a recent one we're all familiar with. And if you're not, then here it is.
If I see he gasses out, I'm going to go on top of him, pressure, try to break him down, get him tired.
In the sparring, we've been training with bigger guys, and we've been able to take their punches and everything, and hopefully we will take Tank's punches too.
Yep, his clash with featherweight veteran Leo Santa Cruz was definitely one to add to the collection, as Leo brought the heat from the very beginning, meaning Davis didn't get much time to relax. Though Leo had all the tools, he didn't seem to get the respect of Gervonta after Davis managed to walk through everything he threw at him, right up until he landed what could have easily been the knockout of the year.
Gervonta Tank Davis on Halloween night delivers the monster smash.
It wasn't like he was beating me like or nothing. He got me with a good shot, he got me in the right spot, and I went down.
Moving forward to his latest bout, and last one on our list, his clash with Barrios pulled out all the stops, and was one that easily drew anticipation, after it was a risky move after all.
He's gonna find out, what it's like to be in the ring with El Azteca.
Leonard Ellerby said, they have big plans for him, and I fully intend, on fucking up those plans, come Saturday.
Confident that his size would play a huge advantage against Davis, Barrios went into the bout confident, but when he felt the power in early rounds, it was clear he didn't want to trade it up too much with Baltimore's bangers.
Left hook, right hand through the guard, good combination.
But after managing to nick a bunch of the early rounds, and Tank knowing that he was now behind on the cards, he soon came out of his shell, getting multiple knockdowns to end the show in the 11th.
Gervonta Tank Davis sticks the landing in his debut at 140 pounds.
Like you said, Tank's explosive. He caught me slipping.
I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in a big league.